So what we'll be doing today is we will be basically covering the last part of market failure, and then we'll be handling a couple of questions so that I'll tell you how to answer a particular question, or how do we go about doing that.
Okay.
So see, the things which we have covered actually so far is this one. So whatever things we have covered so far, we have we evaluated the merits, we described the concepts of market failure, we saw the reasons for their occurrence. Then we also saw what is the private, the social cost, the benefit. Now today what we will be doing is we will be touching upon this part, and we will also be seeing how do we handle market failure, or what do we do to solve this problem of market failure.
Okay.
And then we will take a question which has appeared in your past paper, and then how do you answer that question.
Okay.
Okay. So as far as the market failure is concerned, do you remember the concept of private cost, or social cost, or private benefits, public benefits?
Yeah. Do you know the meaning of those?
Yeah.
Private cost is the cost to the business of making the good or product.
Okay.
Social cost is the cost that the others have to pay. For example, pollution cost by making these products.
Okay. So if you were to define social cost, what things add up to make social cost?
So your private cost and your external cost.
Very good. And what about private benefit?
Your private benefit and your external benefit.
So private benefit plus external benefit will lead to what?
The social benefit, right?
Social benefit, right.
Yes.
In the last lecture, we saw what was the social cost, we saw what was external cost, and we also saw basically that, if one has to really take a decision whether one has to produce a product or not, then really has to take the cost-benefit aspect into account to decide over. Alright? Because when we are talking about this word called as externalities, it means the third party effect, where the party is not directly involved in it, but because it is there, it is present there, it is getting affected because of that. It is not involved in either its production, or neither is it involved in its entire process. But just because it is there, it is getting affected because of
Okay.
that. Alright? And we also basically saw what happens in case of external cost, and either it is from consuming a particular product, or either it is from producing a particular product. Now, did you check in your school whether you have this diagram in your exam?
No, we don't have anything about the diagram. No.
You don't have a diagram. Good. Okay. So now what we'll be doing is, see, as this is just for your knowledge, this will not directly be asked in the exam. See, basically, when a government has to take a decision, okay, whether it has to produce a particular product or not, it takes into account the cost and the benefit. That means it takes the positive and the negative externalities involved in it.
Okay.
Okay. See, for example, a government is considering four possible. Government has to invest in a particular project, and it has four different projects, and it has to find out which is the best. Alright?
Okay.
For doing that, it will take the cost-benefit aspect into account.
Okay.
For example, it has four projects like creating a new city bypass, or new school, or improvement of an existing airport, or setting up new hospitals. These are four different opportunities available with the government.
Okay.
Now it will find out that amongst these four, this is the one which is going to give maximum social welfare. Okay. Now, when I'm saying, when I'm using the word welfare, it means when your benefits outweigh the cost. So whatever cost goes into producing that particular product, the benefit will be large enough. It's only then that the government might consider that particular project.
Okay.
Alright? So see, here we have certain private benefits, we have private costs, we have positive externalities, and we have negative externalities. And then you have the net social benefit, alright, which sometimes is in minus, sometimes it is in plus.
Yes, okay.
So now what the government is doing is it is taking the net social benefit into account while deciding which project offers the best potential return to the society of India. Okay?
Okay.
So if you see from these four projects, here the net social benefit of creating a new city bypass is negative.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as improvement to an existing airport is concerned, it's positive, but it's very meager, just 5.
Yeah.
Major is this and this.
Yeah.
So now the government finally the decision now boils down to two main projects. One is setting up schools or setting up hospitals.
Yeah.
Here again, if the government has to choose, definitely the social benefit of setting up hospital outweighs or is much more, slightly more, of course, compared to that of school.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, the government will go with this.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how the government will take the decision into account. If it was just the private sector, it will just limit itself to this, and this. It is not really concerned with what positive externalities you have, what negative externalities. It is not bothered with that.
Okay.
So if a
Yeah.
private firm is choosing from these four alternatives, it will look into account that okay, my benefit is 50, my cost is 120. So obviously in this case, I am in a loss because my cost is more than my benefit. So okay, so this is ruled out. Or let's say for example, setting up a school. So my benefit is 130, my cost is just 180. Okay, fine, this can work. So if you see here, while the government will choose a new hospital project, between this and this, setting up new school is much more profitable for the private sector.
Yeah.
Right? So the decision differs. The decision differs because the government is taking into account social benefits, whereas private sector is just looking into account for its own benefits.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is how the decision will change. So every time, whenever government is taking a decision, it will look into this cost-benefit aspect.
Okay.
This is how it will go over.
Okay.
Now, the question is, we have seen the various kind of market failures. Okay. We will now find out when is the time that the government actually needs to interfere, or why does the government need to interfere? That is what people want. Okay. Now this will form a part of your answer when you have to write questions based on extract. You are given a particular extract and you will be asked, okay, is there any hint of a market failure? And if so, how will the government intervene, or why should the government intervene?
Okay.
Okay. So let's go and go through this step by step. See, in a free market system, government takes the view that markets are best suited to allocating scarce resources and allow the market force of supply and demand to set the price. When there is a free market system, everything is going smoothly. You know the demand and the supply is going to determine the price the resources are best allocated on.
Okay.
Okay. The role of the government is to protect property rights, uphold the rule of law, and maintain currency. So here in a free market, the government will kind of take a passive role to look after. That is what the government will look in.
Okay.
Competitive markets often deliver improvement in allocated, productive, and dynamic efficiency. See, when you have this demand-supply rule being applicable, you will have allocated efficiency, you will have technical efficiency, you will have social efficiency, you will have all sorts of efficiency.
Yeah.
But there are occasions when they fail, providing a case for intervention. So when there is the efficiency level is not getting maintained, or when the government feels that no, this is the time when I need to interfere and correct the situation, that is the time when the government will intervene.
Yeah.
Alright? Now, why will the government intervene? The main reason for policy intervention, first of all, is to correct market failure.
Okay.
Because market failure leads to a lot of disturbance. To correct that disturbance, the government needs to intervene.
Okay.
Second, to achieve a more equitable distribution of income and wealth. Because now see how these two are corrected. Because there is a market failure, you have that the difference between rich and poor goes on expanding.
Yeah.
There are some section of the society where tremendous amount of wealth is concentrated, whereas others are poor, less wealth. That is when the government will structure.
Yeah.
And the third is to improve the performance of people. Okay.
Yeah.
So for these three reasons, we will have the government intervene or interfere in the market.
Okay.
This part is clear?
Yep, it's fine.
Good. Now, what will the government do? So the measures to correct market failure is state provision or extension of property rights, taxation, subsidy, regulation, prohibit, that means to stop a particular thing from getting sold. Positive discrimination. Positive discrimination means, I kind of give this discount or concession in the price for the lower section of the society. That is positive discrimination. And redistribution of income. So let's say I create more job opportunities for the poorer section. That is redistribution. Okay. We do this step by step, but these are the overall steps which the government will undertake to correct market failure.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
let's